Welcome back, boxing fans. I've been watching the OTC event on DAZN, but also being shown on YouTube, which is where I'm watching it right now, even though I do have DAZN. But I was just skimming through, watching highlights and debate and discussion about Dallas Mavericks Boston, which I will be doing a video later on today. So make sure you check that out on my basketball channel, Sean on Ball. But now, of course, we have a pretty good event. One of my subs talked about this tough Greek fighter who's undefeated with a pretty good knockout record. He is part of this tournament that's going on with the OTC. And this is exactly what they should do with this level of opposition, right? 168 pounds, 140 pounds, a lot of those fighters that are really intriguing up-and-comers. But the problem with them is nobody really knows them. You can't really get the big fights because you're not marketable enough, right? But yet you got to stay busy and you got to keep building yourself up. That's the only way you're going to get better. This is the perfect scenario. We know Kakarov, who was Errol Spence's IBF mandatory, basically was sitting around for a long time, not getting the opportunity to fight Errol Spence, ended up losing to Crowley, who instead of becoming Errol Spence's mandatory was dropped all the way down to number 8 or 9 in the IBF rankings. So, of course, Kakarov had to think about what direction he was going to move, and now he's taking part in this tournament. And, well, he's probably the biggest named opponent in this tournament. He's still not very well known. Most hardcore boxing fans probably don't know anything about him, and casuals have no idea really about any of the guys that are in this tournament. But this is the perfect opportunity. This is free boxing. You can watch it on YouTube. It's building up to a tournament final. The winner of this is still going to be maybe a top 15, 147-pound fighter, maybe. So still not a big name, but at least now you've been through a tournament. You fought a lot of great fighters to move forward. And obviously, this is a great opportunity to build your name up. For this Greek kid, obviously with a huge Greek fan base behind him, and we know Greeks, like Italians, they're really rabid fans. They would be very excited if he walks away the tournament winner of this, and he'll probably get quite a bit of push moving forward to fight one of the bigger name guys in the division. And right now, the 147-pound division is pretty weak, right? Now that, of course, it's gotten old, and of course, the top 2 fighters, Spence and Crawford, have moved up to 154. You got Boots, and everybody knows Boots is great, but he's not a big seller. He's not a big name at this point. So, you know, what a better time for a kid like this to actually move into the division. He probably won't be great. I think there's obviously levels to boxing, and the guys in this tournament, they're definitely levels below. But it's great that they're at least staying busy, getting paid, getting opportunities. Let's see who's jumped in. OJ, welcome. Andre, what's up, my Canadian brethren? What do you think about Wilder weighing in at 214, Zhang 282? It's pretty typical, right? I mean, hopefully that's not too heavy for Zhang because his biggest problem is endurance. For Wilder, it's no surprise. He's consistently come in under 220 most of his career. I didn't know a card was on today. What's up, Sean? What's up, Achilles? Yeah, it's on YouTube or on DAZN. This is the OTC, Overtime Boxing. They had Raul Marquez's son fight earlier, but he's not his dad. He's not going to be really anybody relevant. But now we have, of course, this fight.
World-class opposition tonight. He makes his Lone Star State and OTX debut.
OTX, sorry. Maybe I got to change my title. Uzbekistan. I'm leaning towards Zhang, Andre. Try saying that name 10 times. And then the Greek guy, try saying his name. I think Greek names are probably harder than fucking Eastern European. Katsorakis. Representing Houston, Texas. She's a hot Greek girl. So this fight should be good. We know the Greek guy is obviously a hard puncher and aggressive come forward type of fighter. I haven't seen him fight before, but people were talking about him. He definitely looks that he's the real deal. He's in shape, ready to go. Abdur Kokrov is the naturally bigger guy and obviously the better amateur pedigree, a guy that fought elite level amateur events. And people thought that potentially he would be a real player in the welterweight division. Had some power early on, but once, of course, he stepped up his level, he didn't live up to those expectations. If you hear some banging and gonging and singing, it's because it's the Day of the Gods. So there's a big parade that's going through the small fucking back streets of my house. But round one is off, and let's see how this fight goes. I expect that Abdur Kokrov is going to probably be able to control this fight with his jab for the most part, whereas the Greek guy is probably going to try to be more aggressive. Taiwan culture in your backyard. Yeah, I definitely think the Uzbekistani fighter can just win this fight if he utilizes his jab. I think the other guy is not really going to be able to throw punches until his feet are set. That was a nice right hand from him, straight down the middle, off of a double jab. The Punisher, right? Now that he stepped up his level, he definitely does not look like he's a hard puncher. A lot of slapping. They literally have girls that stand on these things with like skinny fucking outfits, dancing on poles. Taiwan is, every culture is unique. Traditional, non-traditional. Major beer in Taiwan, Taiwan beer. Green label. 18 days is better though. Looks like some satanic rituals. What? Not satanic. Has nothing to do with devils. Definitely looks like the Greek guy is the much harder puncher. Even after just one round, you can see the feel has changed. Abdur Kokrov came out aggressive and dominant behind a jab. The Greek guy finished the round with some big power shots. Zhang said he would bang Wilder like China would do to Taiwan. Bullshit. Did he say that? He didn't say that. Did he say that? That's bad taste if he said that. Because the reality is he's talking a load of bullshit. China's not going to bang fucking Taiwan. You look at a map. There's Americans in Japan. There's Americans in Korea. There's Americans in Philippines. There were Americans in Taiwan. It wouldn't take fucking much to put that American military base back in Taichung up to fucking action. And there's tons of missiles in Taiwan bought from the Americans aimed at China, specifically at the Seven Gorges Dam, which if they blow that dam up, it's going to fuck China up huge. So that ain't never going to happen. Nah, I'm messing with you. Yeah, I thought, no way did Zhang say that. That's just bad taste, man. And I'm surprised he would even know anything about fucking Taiwan, in truth. Round two. Here we are. I was having a conversation with one of my South African coworkers, and she's 24, sweet girl, really nice. She reminds me of Tyla, the way she talks, fucking sounds exactly the same as her, the same mannerisms and everything. Obviously, though, Tyla is if you don't know Tyla, check her out, super sexy. Um, but she was being manipulated by social media and the whole Gaza, Palestinian Israel thing. And I just had to tell her the truth that this is all about oil money, and that's all. And don't believe anything else you hear because it's fucking BS. But round two, Abderkakov comes out once again behind a very aggressive jab. This should turn out to be a really good back and forth fight. If you're not watching it, you should definitely check it out because neither of these guys are elite Boots Ennis type of caliber fighters. But what they are two guys with skills, a bit of power, and a bit of limitations. And because of those limitations, they're going to get hit, and it's going to be an exciting back and forth fight. Abderkakov is definitely the volume puncher. He definitely using his jab and combination punching. The Greek kid is definitely using a hard jab to set up big right hands. Oh, Abderkakov! That should be a 10. They should fuck. That ref is terrible. He literally fucking got hit. Fucking touched the ground and they didn't count it. Fucking that ref is terrible. This should be an easy 10-8 round. Oh, counter punch. Fucking Abderkakov caught the Greek guy. This round's turning out to be great. Oh, what? Oh my God. So you call that a low blow? Fucking Christ, ref. You should have counted a fucking standing 8 count after the guy got dropped, but you didn't say anything. Wow. What a fucking round. As I said, both guys are vulnerable. And they both got dinged up in this round. Maybe the difference in this is going to be who's got the better chin. So far, Abderkakov, even in his 2 losses, he didn't get knocked out. So, I mean, he was mostly outboxed, outskilled. The second fight, I think it was mostly a mental sort of situation after losing his fight to Crowley in a fight that really they felt probably he would win. And then they ended up getting outworked and outboxed by Crowley and then jumped in with really a bounce back opponent and lost that fight. But what are we talking about? What the fuck, Sean? You can't be talking about your colleagues like that. What did I say? Are you going to live stream tomorrow's card? Probably. Sad news, Tim Zhu pulled out. Yeah, that's terrible, because that cut hasn't fully healed. But now there's talk. Oh, that was a nice counter left hand by Abderkakov. Whoa. But now Ryan Garcia is capping that he wants the Ortiz fight. I don't know how much validity there is with that. I don't know if he could even actually fight legitimately. Obviously, he hasn't been officially punished yet. So I guess they could slide that fight in before the New York State Commission comes out with an official punishment based on whatever's going on. We also see that, maybe his supplements were contaminated, but at the same time, who knows the truth behind that right now? We have to sort of wait and see how all this unfolds. It's just a fucking big drama soap opera. But here we go, round 3. Let's see if this round ends up being as exciting as round 2, which definitely delivered in a big way. See, the problem with both of these guys is their heads are way too fucking straight online. So eventually they're going to get countered. Rainin in Taiwan. What did I say about my coworker? I didn't say anything bad. I said she sounds just like Tyla, but I said Tyla is sexier. That's my opinion. But I mean, if you've seen Tyla, then you just have to assume that this is not a negative response. And being manipulated by social media, well, that's the majority of people under 25 years of age. So that's no shock or surprise. Abdur Kokov switches stance a lot, and I don't know if it's benefiting him. Oh, there's a nice left hand from Abdur Kokov. The Greek guy handled that one a lot better. Good body work. Oh, a big right hand. The Greek guy. He almost dropped. His leg folded, man, like a lawn chair. But tough guy, he stood up. That's the thing. Abdur Kokov just needs to be smarter. Eventually, he's going to land the big power counter shots. Good body shot from the Greek kid. When I was looking at the Greek kid's resume, the problem I had with him, even though he's got a lot of knockouts in a short career, he hasn't fought any really legitimate competition. And, you know, that's one of the problems when you look at guys with nice resumes, nice records. If you look deeper in their records, generally their resumes were built up fighting a lot of low level competition. You know, I often said that about, what's his face, John the Beast Mugabe, who I like. I mean, he was one of my favorite fighters at that time. I liked him more than I liked Hagler. I was pushing for him to win that fight. So when I say his resume was built up from a lot of low-level opposition to have such a great-looking record, I'm not hating on him. It's just true. And we've seen tons of guys throughout history like that. You know, 25-0 with 24 KOs. But then when you go down and look who they fought, literally there's nobody. Nobody. So, of course, they should have a good record. It just goes without saying. Virgil can't get a break with Stanionis now. Zoo. That's true, eh? That's true. I would love to see, what's his face, be the replacement opponent. The tough Ukrainian fighter who just won the WBC interim thing, right? Him and Virgil would be a great fight. I'm getting sick of Ryan Garcia. This guy is making a mockery of the sport. That's true. That's true. Somebody called me a hater because of a video I made. And I think I probably said more negative things about Ryan than I definitely said about Haney. But because, you know, with Haney, I'm not hating on him. He's the guy that lost the fight. But depending on what the results are of this testing, Haney will go back to no loss and continue to move forward in his career. And then he can redeem himself. For Ryan Garcia, man, ever since the buildup of that fight, just the stupid bullshit that he did, it's hard to fucking listen to him, man. The dude just sounds like an idiot consistently. And again, social media propaganda, people under 25 years of age buying everything they hear. Because what a load of fucking bullshit. Can Bivens' opponent give him a good fight? No fucking way. That fight's a mismatch. It ain't going to be interesting at all. But understandably so, he deserved to keep his date and keep the time. So, you know, you can't really hate on him. It's not his fault. Beterbiev got injured. It just is what it is. Round 4. I would say that Abdur Kokov is probably 3 rounds up so far. But in saying that, it doesn't mean that the other guy's not in the fight, because he looks like he could change things with one punch. Even though he's been hurt multiple times as well. So, you know, he potentially could also get fucking flatlined as well by a counter left hand anytime throughout this fight. Nice swinging right hand from Abdur Kokov, the Punisher. I should have been wearing my shirt today. It would have been perfect. Yep, I like fighters like Loma who always try and fight the best. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're going to fight a lot, you're going to have, some mediocre opponents jammed in there, right? Like, I mean, we saw that with Golovkin when he was fighting 3, 4 times a year. Anui, apparently, he may be fighting um, the Irish guy, Dahoney, as his next opponent. And Dahoney's not a bad opponent. Dahoney's an ex-world champion at the weight class. So it's not like he's a bum or anything, but he's coming off of wins as well. But at the same time, it's not the fight anybody would be excited about. But if you're coming off a big fight with Neary, you fight Dahoney, and then you're going to have a big fight later on in the year and fight 3 times this year, it's understandable, right? A lot of guys are fighting once a year. If you fight once a year, you better be fighting high-level opposition, because otherwise, what the fuck are you doing? But if you're fighting 3 times a year, then, out of the 3 fights, you're probably going to have one guy who is a bit of a light touch, right? Oh, that was a big counter right from the Greek guy. He's starting to land some big shots now. I mean, Abdur Kokov, you don't want to go fucking war to war with the kid. It's the only time you give him a shot. Wow. She's pretty hot. Greek lady. Ryan is just annoying. Even though I am not a Haney fan, I cannot support Ryan. To me, Loma beat Haney. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, completely. I'm not a Haney fan. I'm not a Haney hater. Early on, when Haney was doing his thing at 135, I was one of the only channels praising him. When he signed with DAZN, I was one of the only channels that praised him for signing with DAZN. When he went over and signed a contract with Top Rank to get his undisputed fights, I gave him full praise for it. Well, people didn't do the same for Canelo. But a lot of the things Devin Haney and his dad were doing, and then aligning themselves with the LDBC, a lot of this stuff, yeah, I couldn't be down with. So obviously that made me lose quite a bit of respect when he made his comment that I ain't going to lose to no white boy. But then in truth, he did lose to a white boy and then ducked the rematch, right? So, and then jumping in to cherry pick Ryan Garcia to make a big pay-per-view buy, I also said it's a smart move. I didn't hate on him for it. It made sense. But then you basically got exposed because you consistently got hit, showed that your chin is vulnerable by a left hand. And even if Ryan Garcia is caught as a cheater and that loss goes away, very similar to Robert Guerrero's loss to Salido, right, which ended up going away, Robert Guerrero was able to move forward, have big fights at 147 pounds, but he was already exposed. He was never elite. He was never one of those pound for pound quality fighters. I feel Haney is similar, right? He can still go on to have a good career, win more titles, but I think at this point, his upside is kind of limited. And that's something people said about him before as well, because of his lack of power. He's much bigger than people. He was bigger than Lomachenko. He was bigger than Regis Prograis. And even though he was bigger, he didn't have the kind of power that really had an impact. Round 5. These guys are fucking throwing hard shots, man. Hard shots. If you're not watching this fight card, you should definitely tune in. It's free. It's on ESPN. On YouTube. So there's no reason not to watch it. Abdur Kokov switching, I don't know if that helps you. You just switch from one side, then you got hit by like 3 fucking left hands in a row. I mean, maybe switch back to the other hand where you didn't get hit by 3 left hands back to back. He's got to use his jab more. The problem is he's went away from his jab and started getting into a fight that benefits the Greek guy, much more of an aggressive toe-to-toe type of scrap. And he's getting pushed against the ropes and losing now. I think the 4th round, maybe you could give to the Greek guy, the first 3 to him, but this round is definitely the Greek guy. He's fucking landing everything he's throwing, everything. I hate when people land punches and then raise their hand. That whole amateur type of thing the Cubans do all the time. Fuck, I hate that. Good round to the Greek guy. He's definitely feeling himself now. I think this card tomorrow is going to be great, the 5-on-5. I'm excited. As I said, I don't know if the Wilder Jang fight will necessarily be a good fight. It could be a real stinker, a real boring fight. But at the same side, because those guys are such big punchers, it also could be a super exciting fight. I just think that Jang is definitely going to be able to get rid of Wilder's legs. He's fucking 60 pounds heavier, right? I wonder if people are going to use that as an excuse of him being a weight bully. This is heavyweight boxing. In heavyweight boxing, this is what happens, right? We saw Evander Holyfield fight a guy that was fucking 300 pounds when he fought the 7-foot Russian fighter. I feel he won the fight, but he got jobbed on the scorecards. And I mean, how much did he give up there? 70, 80 pounds, right? When you're a heavyweight fighter, that's why you're not on a pound for pound list if you're a heavyweight fighter, because what you're doing is unfathomable for any other boxer in any other division, because none of them have to do what you're doing. So round 6, let's see if Abdurkhakov can bounce back, get a second wind, and be a little more effective. He got to use his jab a bit more and put his punches together. Problem is, doesn't benefit him to fight the style the Greek guy wants. I was thinking in this mini tournament that whoever wins this fight, oh, nice right hand from the Greek, right down the middle, probably is the guy that's going to win. I just watched this guy from New Jersey fight on the undercard, Terry, but he's got no power. He's got fast hands, and he's a pretty decent boxer. From the other side, you got Verone, who, is younger and fresher than these two guys. Well, than Abdurkhakov. And then I can't remember who the fourth guy is, but I'm not overly impressed. Abdurkhakov, you're getting hit way too much, buddy, right now. Where's that amateur pedigree, man? You could throw an uppercut. Nice left hand from him. The Greek guy definitely looks fresher. Oh, nice counter left hand. Caught Abdurkhakov standing straight up. He needs to throw some punches in the middle, some uppercuts. Round 6 is done. I think the Greek guy pulled that one off as well. I think probably the most exciting fight on tomorrow's card is probably going to be Nick Ball versus Raymond Ford. Raymond Ford obviously is going to have quite a bit of reach advantage. Slick southpaw. Obviously showed very good. I need to plug in. Showed good toughness in his last fight and resilience. He's going to need that because Nick Ball is probably going to pressure him like crazy tomorrow. Nick Ball, many people feel he deserved the victory for the WBC title over Vargas. Unfortunately, he didn't get that title because his WBC title against Raymond Ford's IBF, that would have been a unification fight. It would have been pretty exciting if that was the situation, but unfortunately, that's not the way it unfolded. But still, I think it's going to be a good fight. Ball is going to pressure Ford a lot. and really see what he's got. I do think Ford probably should be able to control the distance, walk him into shots, and win the fight. But that's why we make the fights. You never know how things are going to unfold. Round 7. Let's see what the momentum for this fight goes on. Nice, but oh, come on. That was not a low body shot, man. Ref, fuck yourself. Dude, man, the guy's shorts are pulled up so high. He hit him on the belt line. Nice shots. Oh, that was a nice counter left to the body. See, that's what you got to do. Use some angles, some lateral movement. When he does that, he wins far easier. But when he stands straight in or just gets on the fucking ropes, then he just allows the Greek guy to dominate. But when he's using little subtle steps to the left and steps to the right, he opens up angles and basically has his way with the dude. Even though his jab is pawing, it's still effective. Now he gets on the ropes, and you're just going to let the other guy fucking open up on you. Oh, there you go. You finally threw an uppercut, and you landed. There you go. Use those legs. Some movement, side to side. Not back and forth. Oh, nice straight right from the Greek kid, straight down the middle. Good little combination flurry from Abdurkokorov. I think I'm getting to pronounce his name better. Good body shot from the Greek kid. Oh, now the ref is saying, hey, pull it up. Oh, my God. I say good body shot. He says low. This is a much better round for Abdurkokorov. He's using his boxing skills and being far more effective. Walking the guy into shots, giving himself angles to land. Nice uppercut again. Get off the ropes. You just got hit by a big right hand. Looping right. Oh, looping left. So, round 7 is in the books. I think right now, I got to say it's 4 rounds to 3. Abdurkokorov is leading. A very competitive, very good fight. Top, the Tiger Tamer, what's up? Salute. Are you watching the fight? It's a pretty good one. One of those fights that really went under the radar from OTX on DAZN, but being shown on YouTube. These two guys are pretty well matched. Both competitive, both being effective, both landing a lot of big shots. Round 8. Let's see if Abdurkokorov can continue to use a little bit of movement and some angles. It's far more effective. Where'd everybody go? Nice jab to the body. Nice left hook. Use your movement. Don't back into the ropes. There you go. Very effective when he just steps to the side and lets his hands go. Trying to be the Uzbekistanian Lomachenko. There you go. Good combination. Keeping the Greek guy off balance. Like I said earlier, the Greek guy, he needs to have his feet set before he can really let his punches go. So when you're moving and making him turn, he's not very effective. But when you stand against the ropes, all of a sudden now he starts landing big hooks to the body, big right hands. Nice jab from the Greek. My friend Nick, I know he'd be cheering for the Greek guy. St. Catharines, shout out. Greek population. Oh, nice body shot. Oh, of course the ref is going to say, oh, ref, fucking Christ, man. Stop. Either you're going to take a point off or just shut the fuck up. Oh, Greek guy's letting his hands go a little more. I definitely think Abdur Kokorov ended up getting his second win because the last 2 rounds he's been a lot more effective and looked a lot more resilient. See, just putting out that jab, man, it's effective. Nice jab, good body shot, letting his hands go, straight little shots down the middle. And you guys watching this fight, what do you think about the results? Who do you think's winning? Am I hitting it on the head or do you feel I'm off base? Let me know. Oh, staying on the ropes, got hit by 2 straight punches. That's your problem. Get off the ropes. There we go. 5 rounds to 3 for the Uzbekistanian. Mars, what's up, my man? How do you properly feed a wild Siberian tiger who hasn't eaten in a week? Just let fucking some animals go into the cage. Your goat, Luca, is in the finals. Yes, he is. How does that make all those haters fucking look now, right? Dudes that were fucking propping everybody above him. The dude, the disrespect he gets. MB puts up 60 points. He's the best player in fucking the history of boxing. Luca puts up 60 something points. And oh, the defense was terrible. Embiid is leading the league in scoring, and he's the monster. Luka's leading the league in score, number 2 in assists, top 15 in rebounds, almost a triple-double across the board, yet he gets no respect, right? He's not in the MVP ballot. There's like New York's guard is ahead of him. Oklahoma's guard is ahead of him. Minnesota's guard is ahead of him. Some people are even saying Indiana's guard is ahead of him. And then, of course, the Joker. And now, oh, nice little uppercut in the inside from Abdur Kokorov. Round 9. And now you got Tatum and him in the finals. Sweet. Luka is fucking great, man. Nice right hand from the Greek kid. Like, sure, if I wanted to be a player and I could be somebody, I'd be fucking Ant. That dunk he threw down on what's his face? Fucking, oh my God. Oh my God. But I grew up in the era where that kind of stuff was everything, right? Now the younger kids, they grew up, oh, the Greek guy's coming back, grew up in the Stephen Curry era where shooting and winning is more important. Luka is a lot more like that, right? He's just a winner. Offensive machine, can't be stopped, great passer, really good rebounder for a guard, and could win his first NBA title at 25 years of age, and is in the conversation with some of the greats of all time. And there's been a lot of great basketball players that weren't fucking exciting to watch. Nobody wanted to watch fucking Bill Russell play. Bob Cousy. fucking, what made Bird exciting is the clutch and the attitude. And that's what we got from Luca the other day when he was fucking talking shit to the fucking crowds, talking shit to Snoop Dogg, right? That harkens back to the old days when Reggie Miller was going back and forth with fucking Spike Lee, right, in New York, Madison Square Gardens. That's great, man. It's great TV. Very entertaining. That's what you want. Oh, Abdurkakov. You switched, walked in, and walked right into a punch. What are you doing? I have to say that I think the Greek kid is winning this round. You gave up your momentum, whether it's you got no more gas in your tank or what, but you definitely are not being nearly as effective. Box behind a jab, use your movement. That's been what's been working all night. This fight could be a draw based on this round. I thought, I thought Abdurkakov had gotten the fight by the handle, and that round he just gave up. His legs look like they're gone. It's 5-4. Abdurkakov going into the 10th round. You could easily see this fight be a draw. And we know with the OTX, there ain't no fucking draws, so an extra round will be thrown on. That would be good if they did that. Joker is the best in the world. Joker is unbelievable, right? He's like, I don't know if you remember Sabonis's dad, but he's like Sabonis's dad. The handle, the touch, the fucking passing. I mean, Sabonis's dad was playing in Russia, so nobody knew him until we saw him in the Olympics dominate and dunk over David Robertson, fucking embarrass David Robertson, and then came over to Portland. But at that time, obviously, he was old and fucking had so many, knee surgeries and everything else, and was not the same fighter anymore. Luca is a James Harden, Larry Bird hybrid. Yeah, there's a lot of that in there for sure, right? For sure. Here we go, round 10, the money round. Who's gonna fucking pick it up? The Greek guy or the Uzbekistanian? Let's see. And as I said, if this fight ends up a draw, they end up putting a 11th round in with this promotional company, which I think is fucking dynamite. We already saw that earlier in the fight when Raul Marquez's son was in a tough fight with some guy named Limon, and the fight was a draw after 8 rounds, so they ended up doing a 9th round, and it still ended up a draw. I don't know how that worked out. Yeah. Stay volume, keep throwing your jab, touch, move side to side, and it should be easy work against this Greek guy. There you go. Just put that jab out there. Doesn't even have to be effective against this kid. Boom. Oh, that was a nice right hand. Nice right hand from Abdurkakov. Get off the ropes, kid. So far, he's made quite a statement this round, but there's still a minute and a half to go. Don't let your momentum go. Don't let this guy fucking dictate. Use your jab again. Come on, get off the ropes. A little bit of side-to-side movement. Oh, there's a nice counter left hand. Good right hand from the Greek kid. This fight turned out to be really good. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. It's on YouTube, so you can watch it at your leisure. I think the Greek guy is sort of giving it up. He's not being nearly as aggressive as he should, unless he thinks he's fucking winning, which I guess he could, but I don't know. I don't think he is. 13 seconds. Don't let him fucking hit you now. He's on desperate times. Desperate times call for desperate measure. I'm pulling out all the bullshit quotes. There we go. Nice right. Fight's over. 6-4 on my card for the Uzbekistanian Abdurkorokov, moving to the semifinals of this tournament. Let's see how it unfolds, people. I will be interested to see how the Celtics will match up against Mavs backcourt. Luka and Kyrie already broke the number one defensive team, Wolves. I think Boston matches up well, but the problem that I've been saying all playoffs, if you went to my channel, Sean on Ball, you could see my early predictions on who I thought was going to go to the finals and how it was going to unfold. Boston versus Denver was my prediction originally. And the thing I constantly said about Boston is they don't have a bench. They don't have a bench. How are you going to win against elite teams when you have 6 players you can rely on, and then you got 3 mediocre white dudes coming off your team, 2 who can shoot, 1 who's a big body, but yet there's levels to this shit. Those dudes, their bench is not even close to fucking Dallas. Dallas's bench is way better, way deeper. I mean, they didn't even play Harden yesterday, and you can pull Harden in, and Harden can give you fucking 20 points like this, right? How Desert a better rematch, Prograis or Garcia? Huh? What? Who deserves a rematch? You mean a rematch versus Haney? What are you talking about? Let's listen to the scores.
Who will advance to the semifinals? Only Lupe Contreras knows. Let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, if they're going the distance inside the OTX ring, we consult the official scorecard to determine the winner. Judge Rodriguez scores about 95, even a draw. All the room by Judge Espinosa scores about 98 to 92. And Judge Leone scores it 96 to 94 for the winner by way of majority decision and moving on in the OTX Super Welterweight Tournament. Fighting out of Houston, Texas.
Bullshit. 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 Yeah. You could see that went to the hometown fighter, right? Because they're fighting obviously in Houston. He's the guy who's Greek, but with a big fan base. He didn't win that fight. Like literally, you can go back and watch that fight. There's no way that dude won that fight. He didn't. A draw, I don't think he won a draw because the 12th round, he lost the 12th round. Or sorry, the 10th round. So, yeah, I think, the fix is in. But let me know in the comment section below. You can check out the fight. Leave it in the comments sometime later on this week. And let me know who you thought won. But I definitely don't think the Greek guy beat fucking Abdurkorokov. Abdurkorokov was more effective. When he used his movement, he was landing more punches. I think when we look at punch count, he's going to have more punch thrown and more punches landed as well. But, that's boxing, man. Boxing is some bullshit.
Congratulations. What a war. What a fight. Going into this fight, you told us that Abdurkorokov was tough, but you will break him down later on.
But he didn't break him down.
Was he better than you expected? I don't know if it was better than I expected or if it was harder for me to connect with some punches, which makes sense what you say. So if it wasn't harder than I expected, I don't know if I'm going to perform. Definitely not a draw. I mean, how did you score it? It was so hard to score. It was a phenomenal fight, I'll tell you that. But listen, his volume was heavy. You landed a lot of the harder shots. Great power jab. What was your biggest challenge in the fight?
Who has the better bench? Dallas. Easily.
Sometimes I would let him jump 45 times. Because he was in my defense, I didn't talk much of it. But at the end of the day, those were punches that FC, and that was replying. So I think that was...
Well, the thing is, dude, when he throws his jab, you were ineffective. You didn't punch. You stood there. And when you're not punching, you're not winning. You cannot win a round when you're not throwing and landing punches. So even if he's just throwing his jab like this, and it's not even that effective as far as a scoring punch. It's effectively defensive because it's stopping you and keeping your guns in the fucking holsters. But oh well. Sean is biased towards foreign athletes. Why am I biased towards foreign athletes? We're talking about whose bench is better. Dallas's bench, there's no foreign athletes on Dallas. Oh, sorry, there's one German. But it's all Americans. I'm biased because I think Luka is a great player. Luka is a great player. Luka's been literally a great player from the first year he fucking got drafted in the NBA, when he constantly got hated on then because people said the short point guard that went to Atlanta was going to be a better player than Luka. And how did that turn out? What did that fucking guy do this year? How did Atlanta do? Where is he in the conversation for fucking MVP voting? Right? He's not in any conversation. Whereas Luka is in the conversation and should be getting the wins. But there we are. Adams. Oh, yeah, Bones Adams against Verone. Katsur Karkaroff versus Terry. I think Abdur Karkaroff should have won. But it is what it is. This tough kid against Terry. It'll be interesting to see how that fight happens. And then you got Bones there. Bones versus Verone. Obviously, Bones is the far more experienced fighter with the better pedigree than any of these other dudes. But Verone is young. I don't know how old this Greek kid is. Look at that. So they said Cockcroft threw 971 punches. They say he only landed 149. They say the Greek kid threw 545 and landed 206. Right? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you look at whose face is busted up, whose face took the most damage, and that's the Greek guy, right? He took more punishment. His face is more busted up than Abdur Karkaroff. They both got hurt, dung, and easily could have been given a 10-8 count in that second round. And the Greek guy got hurt afterwards as well on multiple occasions, but okay. Trae Young, nice though. Trae Young don't even play on his team anymore. They're like this close to trading his ass. Literally, right? Literally. Like, they got that other guard, the tall, thin dude, and he's the number one guy in the team now. He's taken over. Trae Young's become superfluous. There are 3 Ds in the scoring of boxing: punch, damage, disruption, and defense. Loma ball better than Luka. Loma. He's a little shorter, I think. Lomelo is, oh, you mean LaMelo. LaMelo is nice when healthy. Come on, man. What has LaMelo fucking ever done in his whole fucking career? Literally. Thank you, Hollow Ninja. Like, literally, what has LaMelo Ball done his whole career? His 3 brothers have been the 3 biggest hype jobs in basketball history, specifically his older brother. But at least his older brother went to UCLA. Obviously, injuries definitely affected him. LaMelo is the guy that went to play in Australia and now fucking came to the NBA. And what's he? He's on a shitty team that's no fucking where close to making the NBA playoffs. So you're putting up numbers that are based on what? LaMelo, part black, he's athletic. NBA is full of athletic players. A brother can never get a break on this platform. What are you talking about? I was just saying I'd rather be fucking Anthony fucking than anybody else than Luka. But a brother can't get a break. I'd rather be Anthony Edwards, even though Anthony Edwards is going on holiday and Luka's going to the playoffs. But if I could be a player, I want to be Anthony Edwards. That's who I want to be. But a brother can't get a break. I want to be the brother if I could pick, but he can't get a break. Okay. What did Hollow Ninja say? So crazy how many had flooded and messed up boxing. Messed it up how? Because boxing right now, I think, is killing it. It's been better now than it's ever been. Literally, boxing is killing it. Like last year and this year have been incredible. PBC led boxing last year into a great year, and obviously Saudi Arabia, DAZN is following suit and having a fantastic 2024. Sean, my guy Hergovich is fighting tomorrow. Hergovich is a monster, and he should win against Daniel Dubois. But I don't think he deserves the IBF title. Not right now. Hergovich will be the first ever Croatian heavyweight world champion. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think he beats any of the top 3 guys in the division. Katsirakaras is exciting, but he's a one-trick pony, I believe. David, do you think he won that fight? Sean, I'm concerned about Mike Tyson. I'm having doubts. What do you mean having doubts? Tyson's 58 years old. Like, he's getting a payday. He's getting what he wants. I think he will defeat AJ. No chance. Hergovich ain't no damn monster. Yep. Hello, Sean. Dubois for the upset. It could happen, but based on character and personality and who was able to overcome tough times, you got to lean towards fucking Hergovich. Hergovich took a beating and got dropped and got up and won the fight against Zhang. Dubois, every time the tough gets going, he quits. Literally quits. I don't know if I'd tie anything to that reign. Sean are playing safe. What do you mean? Of course they are. I didn't score it round for round. Israel Madrimov is dangerous. He is dangerous for sure. Wilder getting put to sleep. That's the thing. I mean, it's going to be a great fight. I think Wilder's power is exceptional. And Zhang's gas tank is terrible. But at the same time, Zhang is a better boxer, uses a better jab, physically going to have 60 pounds fucking to lean and lay on fucking him to absorb some of those shots early on. And we know that his counter punch is fucking massive. And the question is, can Wilder fucking get up and take it? And Wilder already said that if he loses, he's going to retire. Just like Errol Spence said he's going to retire against Funduro. When you walk into a fight saying you're going to retire, it shows you that mentally you're checked out, man. You ain't ready to fucking grind like you should. I got Wilder. I can't picture a Chinese dude beating Wilder. I thought the Kazakh guy did good, and my opinion of Cody Crowder has went way up. Mike Tyson has admitted to taking fights just to lose for money before. No reason to think any different now. Tyson that people love has been gone since the 90s. Exactly. This is not a legitimate Mike Tyson fighting for any legitimate boxing situation. It's a money grab. What were they thinking, man? Shawnee, the Greek boxer, underperformed. He got a gift. Lose the corner woman, for fuck's sakes. Yeah, exactly, Grievous. He fucking lost, man. And I ain't hating because I don't have a horse in the race. I literally sat down and thought he was going to knock him out in the second round. And then I thought he was going to get knocked out in the second round. And then I saw who made adjustments and who was more effective. Parker Dubois needs the fight lit under their feet to take boxing seriously. Crowley fought the Kazakh Uzbekistani guy who gave his Greek dude a tough fight. Crowley is about to get destroyed. I'm 100% sure. Me too. 100% sure. 150% sure. Hey, Sean, if Wilder pulls it off, you think they'll do Wilder versus Parker too? No chance. They'll probably do Wilder versus AJ in London in that big 5-on-5 fight card that's coming on, because obviously Fury is off the books because he's going to be rematching Usyk. So AJ wants a big fight to do Wembley Stadium on that 5-on-5 Saudi Arabian card in London. And who better to do than fucking AJ versus Wilder? That shit's fucking dynamite. That's huge. I mean, the same way I wanted Fury to win so we could get Fury versus AJ against Usyk, even though when the fight happened, I was definitely pulling for Usyk, is the same way I want Wilder to win so we could get AJ versus Wilder. Hollow Ninja says Anui could be a 5 division champion and haters will still hate. That's fucking fact. That's a fact. There's nothing that kid can do that's not going to get fucking hated and ridiculed on, while other guys do far less and get praised. Literally, I listened to Pro Box yesterday, blowing smoke up Tank Davis and David Benavidez' asses, but yet they constantly fucking hating on fucking Canelo Alvarez. And to me, that makes no fucking sense at all. Either you're going to hold every fighter accountable or you're fucking not, right? You can't specifically just shit on the guys that are actually doing the most in the sport and then give dudes that show they don't give a fuck a complete pass, right? I thought the Greek dude got a gift. He did. Nobody gives Crowley a chance to at least be competitive against Boots. I think one of the things that convinced me that Crowley's going to get destroyed was his mentality in that press conference with Boots, that he's just happy to be there. And literally, he feels that he survived and that's his reward, right? And this was a guy who was contemplating retirement last year. So I think, he's already mentally broken. They throwing the Wilder the alley hoop to fight AJ, but Wilder is too damn terrible and keeps losing. That's true. That's true. That's exactly the situation. They're literally wanting the fight to happen. They're literally putting him in a position to hype up the fight with Wilder coming off of a legitimate fucking victory so they could really fucking blow a lot of smoke fucking up the fight and really hype it up. And then he lost to Parker in a piss poor performance where he fucking just looked happy to be there. Now he's going to fight Zhang, and I feel that mentally he's already checked out, kind of like Crowley. And don't be surprised if he gets knocked out inside 3 rounds. And this is not me hating on him because, as I said, I hope he wins because I want to see AJ versus Wilder in fucking Wembley. So I ain't hating on Wilder. That's just my prediction. After all this shit, Wilder talked about Eddie Hearn. He was giving him another chance even after a loss. Exactly. Eddie Hearn consistently gives his fighters chances. I can get a full grocery cart of fresh groceries in Russia for the price of a Happy Meal here in the States. You're exaggerating. You're exaggerating. Yes, I saw that video too, but it's not the price of a fucking Happy Meal. Come on. Ulysses Iglesias is fighting on ESPN in a week. I saw his fight listed. Great Cuban fighter. It's just a shame that Morel and Benavidez moved to 175 because, you do have a great crop of fighters at 168 pounds, right? And if they would do a tournament like this on OTZ, right, with all those mid-tier fighters, guys like Iglesias, guys like fucking Mimbili, guys like Pacheco, guys like William Skull. You put all those dudes on like an 8-man fucking tournament like this, that would be the best fucking thing ever. Legitimate, right? Saudi Arabia, Turkey Al Sheikh, if you're watching this, do that shit, motherfucker. That would be great. Great for the 168-pound division, great for boxing. And you give all these guys that really, it's difficult for them to get opportunities because they're not household names. AJ versus Wilder still sells. Yes, it does. Bet the house on him, at least for the task at hand. How much is a Happy Meal? Ain't it $25 for a Big Mac? That's less expensive than a Happy Meal, isn't it? I live in Taiwan. A Happy Meal now is definitely not that much money. That'd be almost 1,000 NT. Oh my fucking God. Nobody would be buying fucking. Oh yeah, Kevin Sanjo as well, the French kid. You throw him on that as well. Man, like off the top of our hands, let's think. You got Mimbila. You got Sanjo. You got obviously Benavidez and Morale and Canelo and Berlanga and Manguia. They're above. Those are the guys they want to fight. So they're fighting one another with Plant as well. So you got Sancho, Mimbili, Pacheco, fucking Aristas, Iglesias, William Skull. That's 5. I need 3 more. 3 more. How come I can't think of anybody now off the top of my head? I know there's tons there. Let's scroll here for a minute. Let me open this up. Oh, I forgot. I can't scroll on this page. I need to scroll on the other page. There we go. I'm scrolled, right? So Mimbila, Pacheco, Sancho. You could throw in the Canadian, Barizian. Who else you got? Beck Malakuziev, William Skull. Who else? That's 66666666666. Of course, we got that other Uzbekistani or Kazakhstan guy, Beck Beck. Right? That's 7. You could throw a Shishkin in there. You could throw, you know, who else? Shishkin. Some of these other guys might be worth putting on there. I'm just not familiar with who they are. But like that's 7 dudes. You could easily put a tournament together, and all these guys would be getting way better opportunities to highlight themselves, get paid, stay busy, and build themselves up to potentially a super fight versus Canelo Alvarez. You know, the guy that walks away the number 1 fighter, that guy would be a legitimate fucking mandatory opponent. Legitimate. He earned that opportunity. Tim Zhu, where are we? New World Order is here, Sean. We must unite. New World Order. Fucking reminds me of Bush Sr. That's how long we've been talking about New World Order. Virgil Ortiz would have got destroyed by Ortiz, by Tim Zhu, I mean. Virgil would have beaten Zhu. California prices for McDonald's are expensive. It's like $25 for a burger or something because the minimum wage is $25 to $20 for their workers. Really, Darkness? That's ridiculous. McDonald's fucking the most you should have to pay fucking for a burger in McDonald's is $2.50 with fries, say 200. That's fucking, or sorry, $2. So for less than $5, you should be able to get a cheeseburger and fries. Come on. Minimum wage, that has nothing to do fucking, oh man, these people are ridiculous. Mental. Ortiz versus Ortiz, who wins? Hard pick. I'm tired. Laugh out loud, Dave. The top 168 guys ain't going to fight each other. It's diva division like 135. That's why I'm saying the dude said, well, they are fighting each other. What do you mean? Plant, Canelo, Beterbiev, Munguia, they fought one another. Morel hasn't because high risk, low reward. Berlanga is going to. So that's another guy. So out of the 6 guys I just mentioned, the only guy who hasn't fought anyone is Morel. But Plant, Berlanga, Canelo, Munguia, Benavidez have all fought one another. Maybe they haven't fought everybody in the division, but they've all fought some big names. Just like 135 when you talk about Lomachenko, who fought everybody, but unfortunately then you got Shakur and Tank, who fought nobody. You got Canelo to thank for that. Well, it's because those guys don't want to take a risk because they're hoping to get cashed out. Fires are over $3. What? Fries are over $3 right now where I live. Fries, $3. In Taiwan, how much are French fries? At McDonald's. I don't even know. It's 200 NT, which is 3, 6, 9. Huh? Sorry. 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180. That's $6. So $6, just over $6, you get a double cheeseburger, large fries, a big corn soup, and an apple pie for about, $7. Devin and Tio did, but Tank should have been done. Yep. And I'm talking about Morale and Benavidez, Sajia, Mimbila, Aurelius, exactly. So why talk about fights that won't happen? What fights won't happen, David? Like what I'm saying is you should put all these mid-tier dudes that aren't big names so they won't really get big name fighters because they're high risk, low reward. You can't pay dudes millions of dollars to fight them because nobody knows who they are. So you put them on this OTZ 8 man tournament card, and then this way they get fights, they get paid, they stay busy, and they build up their resume, and then they put themselves in a position where now they become household names, where now they are potential opponents for the top guys at 168. Obviously, the thing stopping fights from happening with the top guys, it's money and platforms, right? I mean, Canelo fought Plant, he fought Munguia, wow, and he's going to probably fight Barlanga, but not Morel or Benavidez. But Morel and Benavidez haven't even fought fucking one another. And how long did it take Benavidez before he fought Plant? Canelo's been in the division short period of time, but he's done more than Morel and more than Benavidez did. And those guys are career 168-pound fighters, but they're PBC dudes. So we know the way the PBC rolls. And that's the thing people don't want to shine fucking light on. I actually heard the other day McDonald's was thinking about leaving the whole state of California. They should. Can you imagine? Fucking, that would be great. Sanction bodies are like politicians or politics in the real world, cause division and get in the way of progress. Facts. That's all I'm saying, right? Fucking, if Saudi Arabia could do one thing to benefit boxing, it'd be to get rid of all 4 of those fucking sanction bodies, set up one sanction body with fucking drug testing, fucking, rules that fucking fans actually know, and one world champion. So literally we'd have one world champion. We don't need unification fights. We need mandatories, and we need fucking the top 10 guys in the division to actually have to fight dudes to move up, so that by the time they get to the position of mandatory, fucking everybody is juiced to watch it, like the UFC. People go, how come the UFC always has great fights? It's because literally inside their top 10 ranking, everybody's fighting one another to earn an opportunity to fight the champion. But yet in the boxing, that's not what's fucking happening. William Skull, you cannot tell me one person William Skull fought, yet somehow Canelo needs to be stripped of his IBF title because this is now his mandatory. Who the fuck is he? And I ain't hating, but people say mandatories deserve their opportunity. He didn't fucking earn an opportunity. So what does he fucking deserve? Because his promoter paid off the sanctioning bodies and all of a sudden that got him an opportunity? Okay. If they really want to hype up Wilder versus AJ, they should put AJ versus Parker 2. Parker deserves it. And if Joshua wins, Wilder has the chance to beat the guy who beat the guy. Dude, nobody wants to see that fight. Literally, nobody wants to see that fight. Even fucking Parker wasn't excited about that fight, right? He was talking about other potential fights. They were talking about him fighting the Turkish-German kid, right? That's the level he's on. Maybe you could have him fight the winner of Hrgovic and Dubois, right? Like, maybe you could have him fight Andy Ruiz in a rematch. But nobody wants to see AJ fucking worry about Parker. People want to see AJ fight Fury. People want to see AJ fight Wilder. And outside of that, maybe Usyk in a trilogy fight. I think if Wilder loses, he will still fight Jaron Anderson. But I don't know if anybody will care about the fight if he loses, right? Like, what's the point of having the fight if he just lost back-to-back fights? And probably the most likely fight would be a knockout loss against the big Chinese fighter. Like, is that really a fight that proves anything? Is that a fight that determines that Big Baby Anderson is actually legitimate and somebody that's going to take over boxing? I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is. What am I looking at? Wow. Wasted in Tokyo, red light district on Saturday night. That girl's got some nice titties. You know what I hate about these YouTube videos? Is you put these hot fucking girls on the things. And then when you go watch the video, that girl is nowhere in the video. Not even just like a quick fucking, pan. She's nowhere in the picture. So it's like literally you're making a video that's 40 minutes fucking long, and there's literally nothing on it that I want to see. Because seeing a bunch of drunk Japanese people fucking around in Japan playing in the garbage, which is what the picture shows now, why would I care about that? I don't fucking care. I live close to Japan. If I want to see it, I just take an airplane and go visit. But yeah, crazy shit. Let's see what John's talking about. Ah, breaking news. Ryan Garcia is innocent. His lipstick was contaminated. See, I hope that Ryan Garcia is innocent just because people like this and the LDBC would look so fucking ridiculous if that's the situation. I don't hope that way because I'm hating on on Devin Haney, because I'm not even thinking about Devin Haney in this conversation. And I don't like Ryan Garcia, so I don't care if he gets suspended. Doesn't fucking bother me at all. I know he's still going to do social media boxing and still get paid millions of dollars, whether I'm interested or not. So it has no repercussions on the sport at all. But I would just love to see these dudes crying into their fucking tissues, right? With their fucking mascara running. Because all of a sudden, another fucking stupid narrative that they consistently push on their channel has been thrown back in their face. But Jared Anderson is a prospect, so yeah, they will try to make that fight. Well, he's not a prospect anymore. He already fought ex-world champion. I think Hrgovic and Kabial would be a great fight. Yup. Junto Nakatani versus Vincent Astrolabio. Laugh out loud. What a slaughter. Well, Astrolabio is a good fighter, but yeah, it's not the fight I was hoping for. I was hoping that we'd see Junto Nakatani versus Inui's brother to unify titles, right? And obviously that would build up a possible fight between Nakatani moving to his fourth weight division to take on the monster in a revenge fight, which would be fucking great. Historic. And maybe we're still going to get that Inui Nakatani fight in December. We know the Japanese love the big December fight card, and that is a big card. So, that probably makes more sense. I kind of wonder why Nakatani doesn't call out Inui. Well, I think they got a plan, and they understand that at this point it's not big enough. He would just sound like a lot of these dudes in the States on social media capping if he calls out Inui at this point. David's biggest win is Andrade, and he's a monster. Well, his biggest win is Plant, because at least Plant was a 168-pound champion. Fucking Andrade was nothing at 168 pounds, and was nothing at 160, and was nothing at 154. The dude's only fucking champion he fought in his whole career was David Benavidez. And surprise, surprise, he got his ass beat. Because there's levels to the sport of boxing. And that's what people have been saying for years. When people acting like Canelo Alvarez and Golovkin and all these people were ducking fucking Andrade. And the question was, who the fuck has Andrade fought? I'm disappointed because obviously Andrade, Billy Joe Saunders would have been a great fight. That's a fight that should have happened. But you can't blame the other fighters because the fight fell through because of drug testing in the US. It is what it is. Sean, if you consider Andrade elite, then David is a beast. Well, I never considered fucking Andrade elite. Andrade was a very good amateur boxer who was a long, dangerous southpaw. But yet, he stifled his career because he never fucking stepped up. And if you never step up, how are you going to develop and become a great fighter when you continue to fight mid-tier opposition? What's up, Sean? Are you calling the fights later? Later? Jesus Christ, man. It's way later. I'm going to go out, have barbecue, have beers at home, come home, and then take a nap, wake up, and then it's going to be later. So that's like that's like a day later for me. I watched some Puello highlights. I think he's a dangerous foe for Gary Antoine Russell. I'm not sold on Gary anymore. Why anymore? What did Gary do that unsold you? He never beat a world champion. Never beat a world champion. Yet was a two-weight world champion. Right? Like people like John want to call a newie, a belt holder, or a guy who chases belts, right? What do you call fucking a dude like Andrade or fucking Charlo, the 160 Charlo? Who did he beat at 154? Who did he beat at 160? He literally was an email champion at 160. The best opponent he fought was fucking Derevchenko. Literally the best opponent he fought at 160 pounds, and his career at 160 is longer than his career at 154, was fucking Derevchenko. His best opponent at 154 was Austin Trout. Austin Trout, who Canelo Alvarez already beat in a unification fight when he was unbeaten coming off of a Cotto win. That was the fucking Austin Trout to fight. Took 12 rounds to get a shoe shine stoppage over Postal, who Elvis Rodriguez destroyed in the middle rounds of their fight. Yes, but Elvis Rodriguez is a bigger guy than Gary Russell. Longer, just naturally a bigger fighter. And that was also an older version, even though both of them were old when they fought them. But styles make fights, right? Like, sure, that was not a great stoppage. The Bartholomew stoppage was not a great stoppage. The problem with Russell, like his brothers, is fucking they've been fucked over by the PBC. Inactive. Haven't stayed busy enough, right? How are you going to get better? How are you going to progress if you're not fucking fighting, right? And we know this is true. The Bartholomew was piecing Gary up until the controversial stoppage. Yeah, no, that was both of those stoppages were fucking garbage. Just so you could keep the guy's 100% KO ratio. You compare him to Virgil Ortiz, or you compare him to Beterbiev. I mean, you can't say he's legitimately 100% KO artist compared to those two guys who literally fucking have KO'd their opponents, specifically Beterbiev. PBC waste guys' careers and primes. They do. I just think Puello is going to beat him. Well, Puello, he's on the PEDs, right? So anything is possible. He's also longer. So if he can establish his jab and control distance, like Bartholomew and Postal were able to do, he probably will make Russell look limited until he gets chin checked. And then once he gets chin checked, then we'll find out a lot more about him. But yeah, I don't dismiss him at all. I mean, there's a reason that Gary Russell ducked him for the WBA fucking super title. Why wouldn't you have fought that guy to become a world fucking champion? Right? But he didn't, right? And he's only got himself to blame for that because, the opportunity was there. I don't understand why you'd walk away from it, but he did. So what's going on? What's going on? Why John Sally would take prime Larry Bird over prime LeBron? Well, this is the debate I had before, right? I was just watching Gilbert Arenas' channel, and they're comparing the first 7 years of LeBron's career to the first 6 years of Luka's career, and saying that Luka is a better player at 25 than LeBron James was. And those guys, all Black American guys, ex-players, they all said cap. Of course, LeBron James was the better player. But what they're giving LeBron James credit for is his physical dominance. Nobody's ever questioned LeBron James's physical dominance. I said from day one, LeBron James is the same fucking size as Karl Malone, who was an NBA All-Star Hall of Fame power forward. Yet he's playing fucking guard. How can most guards deal with a dude that's not only taller, but fucking 15, 20, 25, 30 pounds heavier? I mean, if somebody's on the juice in the NBA, it's definitely LeBron. The dude is a fucking NBA fucking tight end. That's his body, right? So, of course, physically, you can't compare Luka athletically and physically to fucking LeBron James. He's shorter. He's not nearly as athletic. I mean, they might weigh about the same, but one guy is chiseled out of granite. The other guy is more doughy like me, right? But when we talk about being a great player, it's not about your physical dominance and your athleticism. These things are nothing that you've done. This is what you were born with. That's you. let's hope you fucking capitalize on what God gave you and get the most out of it. Luka, on the other hand, Larry Bird in this conversation, these dudes weren't that. Yet they ended up having better fucking scoring numbers, better rebounding numbers, better assist numbers, better three-point shooting, better field goal shooting, better free throw shooting. Like, and we're winners too, specifically Larry Bird. And Larry Bird's career was cut short because of his back. I mean, if he would have just been able to extend his career because of health, I mean, imagine the numbers and the extra championships that would have been put on his career. He was a fucking destroyer that fucking stepped up in big games and dominated. I ain't hating on LeBron, but LeBron, one of the criticisms towards him is that often he stepped away from the big moment, right? I think Puelo is better than Bartholomew. No way. Hopefully Matias Poro fight won't overlap the meat and potatoes on the table Frank card or the Tank Frank card. I remember Gilbert Arenas coming into AT&T store I worked at and accidentally called him Bruce Arenas. Laugh out loud, the old US coach. That must have broke his ego. But yeah, I'm going to watch that Dan Patrick show. John Sally, fucking, and of course, John Sally, he's going to have a different perspective than a lot of people because obviously he grew up in the Larry Bird era. So the ingrained respect he had is obviously a real thing. Right? Obviously, that's why people now say LeBron James is the GOAT and not Michael Jordan, because they're new. They're this new generation of social media manipulated propaganda fucking people that see highlights and believe everything they hear. Gil was nice for about 3 years. For 3 years, he was a monster until his knee had a gun incident, hurt his knee, and then all of a sudden he signed a big contract, and then he was done, right? Gil put up 60 for Kobe. Gil was following that great fucking Arizona train, right, of pushing out great guards when Arizona year after year after year after year, Bibby and fucking Simon and many others were just kicking out fucking tons of great guards. Kind of like if you go back, I'm older, to the Georgia Tech era when they were pushing out great guards, Kenny Anderson, fucking Mark Price. Man, they were killing it as well. But those two programs, man, they developed great guards, kind of like UConn right now, right? UConn is pushing out great guards right now. What do you think about Bivens' opponent? I heard he's awkward and a heavy puncher. Cherry pick. Do you think Luka will score over 30 points in game 1 against Boston? Yes. Michael Jordan is light years better than Braun. Light years better than Braun. Rip Bill Walton. Oh, rest in peace, Bill Walton. You got to put the dots. Otherwise, you want me to say something bad about him? I don't like Bill Walton. Didn't like him. Never liked him. But mind you, when I saw him play, it was when he was a bench player for Boston, and I hated Boston. So then, of course, I would hate Bill Walton, who also talked loads of bullshit. But you meant rest in peace. And yes, rest in peace, Bill Walton. Chuck Person is the guy who elbowed Larry Bird in the back. Chuck Person, the rifleman from Auburn. Big body dude who was afraid of contact. Funny enough, he used it against Bird, but was a fucking great shooter. Marbury was so good, Sean. Marbury was great coming out of New York City. That whole era, too. I mean, you also had all those New York guards that came out, right? Pearl Washington, fucking Marbury, Anderson. But who am I thinking about? Not Anderson. Played for Washington. Strickland. Rod Strickland. Fucking Rod Strickland was my favorite. Rod Strickland was so good. Bill Walton was overrated, but rest in peace. He wasn't overrated. He led a Denver team past Dr. J's 76ers for an NBA title. And then, of course, had injury issues, which turned him into a bench player, right? But when he was healthy, fit, coming out of UCLA, of course, he wasn't Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He could never have been Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had something Bill Walton didn't never would have had, which was a long career, a long healthy career. Unfortunately, a lot of big guys have injury issues. Kareem didn't. He fucking, because of the way he played, he did not need to use his physicality to dominate, so he could extend his career for a long period of time. Marbury was Georgia Tech. Yep. I hope Dallas beats Boston. It'll be hard, though. Boston are choke artists. Boston are choke artists, but that's why there's so much pressure on them to step up now and do it, right? They got home court advantage. Their team is deep as far as the top 6 players. But after that, then their bench is garbage, right? Not good. But all those top 5 players they play, really fucking interchangeable, right? Which makes it really tough to come up with a strategy to beat them. But when you look at Boston's record against the top teams from the West, they had a 500 record. So what does that tell you? Walton brought Portland their first and only chip. Exactly. Mind you, he wasn't the only person on the team, but he was the star. I'm not sold on Tatum to be the successor to Kobe. Whoever said that Tatum is the successor to fucking Kobe? I've never heard that. And fucking there's nothing even fucking remotely true about that statement. Nothing. There's no chance Tatum is fucking Kobe Bryant. There's other dudes you could say, fucking Billy Owens, who's some small forwards you could compare Tatum to. There's lots, right? But fucking Kobe? No chance. I would love for Luka to bring a championship to Dallas. We know the Cowboys aren't going to do it. Well, it'd be great because that would be the second one. Dirk Nowitzki got his, Luka got his, and you win that now. It takes a lot of pressure off of you, right? Now you're all about winning still, but you don't have to win the chip. We can't consider you great until you win a chip. Now you can say, I won a chip. So now the question is, okay, how many chips can he win? Can he compete with the top players of all time? Well, you're never going to compete with Bill Russell. So there's a lot of stupidity in that statement. But, obviously he can continue his career and try to compete with the Magics, the Birds, the Michaels, the LeBrons, the Currys, and those boys. Laugh out loud. That sounds like something Bill Simmons would say. Which, who, what? No chance. I agree. With a chip, I got Luka. Oh, that he's the next Kobe. Yeah, exactly. Because we know Bill Simmons, a huge Boston fan. Yeah. Sorry. I used to like Bill Simmons a lot, but I don't know why. I don't really see his stuff around as much as I once did. But yeah. With a chip, I got Luka top 50 of all time. He should be, for sure. I got Joker top 15 all time. And he probably should be. The things he's done, unfucking believable. People talk about these guys' lack of athleticism, yet they're putting up numbers in today's NBA, which is great because LeBron James is the GOAT. So it's this era, right? He's the GOAT over Michael Jordan. This era. So this era is great. And then you got Joker and Luka putting up numbers that we've never seen in basketball fucking history. And this is not like boxing where, you say, oh, well, Floyd Mayweather is pound for pound number 1 all time because he beat so many champions and fought 28 world champions in his career. So he's the best because he fought 28 world champions in the 3-4 belt era of boxing. And because of that, he's better than Sugar Ray Robinson, who fought in a 1 belt era of boxing. So if you do the math, it's obvious that one guy is going to fight more world champions than the other guy because there's just way more fucking dudes that were considered world champions today than compared to yesterday. But if you're being honest, you can't rate Floyd Mayweather above Sugar Ray Robinson based on that stat because that stat is bullshit, right? And that's the problem with stats. You got to fucking take it in context. You can't just use a stat to fucking hype somebody up. The Pacers will never win a ring. I don't know, man. The Pacers were good this year. The problem is they're too big men, a little too soft, right? They also didn't have their Canadian shooting guard playing. I don't know if he's going to really be a difference maker, but he's a guy that could easily be a 20-point scorer on that team. Your star point guard, a little too soft as well and afraid of the big moment. But they're young. I'm a fan, though. If Pippen is top 50 all time, Jordan's coattails, Luka will be top 35. Pacers got an ABA chip. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Fucking the ABA. A little before my time. I mean, obviously I was alive, but I wasn't. In Canada, they obviously weren't showing ABA games on fucking any television that I could fucking get access to. So I never saw an ABA game. I think I saw the ABA slam dunk contest, but even that, I'm not sure if I actually saw it live or Memorex. Memorex? Anybody? Memorex? Davin Haney. What about Devin Haney? You spelled his name wrong in two parts, his first and last name. What about Devin Haney? Devin Haney is, I got Floyd range 12 to 15. The problem with that is that Floyd could have done things he didn't do. He gets a lot of credit for fighting cardboard cutout opponents, right? Which nobody else in history gets credit for, but he gets credit for it. He gets credit for a heavyweight record of 50-0, even though to do that, he fought an MMA guy making his professional debut, right? So a lot of things people credit Floyd for are bullshit and not legitimate. So I'm not saying where I have Floyd. I don't have any specific list of who's where on the top 50 best boxers of all time, because that's a lot of logistics, a lot of guesswork, and yeah, above my pay grade. Who do you think Virgil Ortiz will fight as a replacement? I'm not sure. I'm waiting to see. I know Ryan Garcia said that he's interested. I don't know if that's even fucking possible. I would like to see him fight that WBC dude, the Ukrainian fighter. I think that would be a great fight. That would be like, the 154-pound version of Ortiz versus Stanionis. But this guy is not Stanionis. It'd be a very intriguing fight. Sorry, I can't remember his name. Boychuk versus Ortiz. That would be my preference. But you could throw him in with Erickson Lubin as well. That would be a great fight. Ortiz versus Erickson Lubin, right? The winner then takes on the IBF world champion, the Russian kid, right? All great fights. Boychuk called Virgil out. Did he call him out? Oh, see? Let's hope that happens. Tim pulled out because his cut hasn't fully healed. So his doctor said, yeah, dude, you shouldn't take this fight. Lubin is a fraud. Well, not a fraud. He's a legitimate opponent for a guy like Virgil Ortiz, because you could see him beating him. Jesus Ramos, another good opponent. Jesus Ramos just lost to Lubin in a fight. Most of us felt that Ramos was going to win, but, we can be critical of Lubin, but he was dangerous enough that Ramos did not feel comfortable enough to do what he'd been doing prior, which was dominate and destroy opponents. So, but all those opponents would be good. Ramos, Lubin, Boychuk, fuck, man. If he fought any of them, I'd be super excited. Ryan Garcia, that's a bit more of a shit show, so I ain't going to fucking really talk too much about it. But as far as that card in California, that would be a huge boost to that fucking card, no matter how ridiculous it sounds. I do think Ramos would win a rematch against Lubin. Me too, for sure. Tim is the real deal. Tim is good, but unfortunately, they fucked him over. Literally, that's what they did. But guys, I'm going to go to the bathroom, eat my lunch, and feed my dog. And I will see you sometime tomorrow, whether it's live or whether it's post-fight, depending on waking up and watching another one of these Middle Eastern fucking 12 at night to 8 in the morning fight cards, which goes against my natural fucking sleep schedule. But I will see you then. Peace out. Thanks everyone for jumping in. I appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for what should be a great card. And we'll see who wins and how that unfolds. Thanks for watching. Peace out. See you guys later.